We had a new baby. That's the reason I haven't been producing videos for the last week. Fantastic, wonderful, time consuming. That brings the total to 4. It's even to 2 apiece. With that said, let's make this world a better place. I want to bring you a video by James O'Keefe where he addresses somebody in the crowd who's scared of losing what it is that he has in the world, to stand up for truth, to expose the hypocrisy and lies of the left, of the uniparty, whatever you want to call it.
So you said that probably a lot of us are afraid. I'm afraid.
And so am I. I'm afraid too. Not to the extent most of you are, but I'm afraid too.
And we're the same age. I admire the hell out of you for what you do. I want to become less afraid.
Well, what are you afraid of?
Lose my job.
Okay, what's the worst? So tell me more about that.
Well, then I'd have to figure out what to do. And then I have 2 little kids at home. We have a house. I have a wife. We like a lot of what we do, but we feel like there's so much truth to tell. And
So what's holding you back?
fear. It's irrational.
So you have to. I have this conversation, by the way, every day. I mean, I just had this conversation this afternoon on Instagram, and she said, literally, she said what you're saying. She said, well, I have to provide for my boys. And I said, what do you mean? Are they going to starve to death if you tell the truth? As far as I know, people don't starve in America, at least not yet. So you're going to lose your house? You're going to lose your job? I lost my job. I lost the job. I mean, this is the great. I lost the job for the company that I founded doing this. It doesn't get much more ironic than that, but I'm still standing. So and I'm going to put you on the spot, but what are we actually afraid of? Especially Christians. That's one of the greatest ironies. Christians they talk about eternal life and they're worried about losing their stuff and their money. I don't get that at all. Because you don't take any of that stuff with you when you die. None of it. And when we're on our deathbed, I'm willing to bet we're probably not thinking about our stuff and our money, or what type of house we live in. I think we think about whether we followed our conscience. And by the way, I have children. I don't have children, so I can't fully empathize yet. I hope to have children. But I would think that if I did have children, my little boys would appreciate the fact that I followed my conscience, even if it meant I lived in a smaller house, or I had to rent instead of own. I would think that my children would be inspired by that, rather than that would hurt them. But that's what I think. So you have to really evaluate what's the worst thing that could actually happen to you? And maybe the worst thing is not the worst thing. Maybe it might be the best thing. Because they can stop me, and maybe they will, but they can't stop me and you and like a couple hundred other people. So they can't stop all of us. So what we need to do is awaken a sleeping giant.
So that's the question for all you guys out there. What do we really have to lose? We downgrade our living standards. We find a way to make ends meet. But we stick true to what is in the core of our being, which is to better our lives, that of our children. As I mentioned, I had children. As I mentioned, I had a new child. And I want her to be able to grow up in an amazing environment. I want that for everybody's children out there, not just mine. And I refuse to agree to go along with those who want to enslave us and rob us of our speech if we dare offend them. That is what they want. They want to institute total control over everybody on the planet. So like James O'Keefe said, speak up. Tell the truth. The truth is your ally, and in the end will shield you against the attacks of those who lie and are trying to destroy our civilization. Stick to that possibility and know that you are protected and that you have people like me, like you out there watching, that agree with you and want the best for society. that don't want to wokeify it and adhere to norms like men can't be women, or that a 60-year-old can marry an 8-year-old because he feels like he's 8. He identifies as such. This is the key to life, is just to be truthful and not to fear the tiny little amount that we have on earth, a few possessions seeping through our hands. Because if the government decides to decree that you don't own the parcel of land that they originally stated that you do, they'll do so. But you can remain true to yourself, true to the soul that yearns for freedom that we all must express in order to keep humanity moving in the right direction. Listen to James O'Keefe. Peace out.